Shalom. Our Torah portion this week is Pinchas. In its opening passage, God awards Pinchas, grandson of Aaron, a brit shalom, that is, a covenant of friendship. He was given this honor because of something that he did in last week's Torah portion, Balak. We read in last week's Torah portion that a group of Israelite men had taken Midianite women as their wives. And these Midianite women immediately led their Israelite husbands into the worship of the pagan god Baal Peor. Now, as a result of this idolatry, a very serious, deadly plague broke out in the Israelite camp. Well, Pinchas followed Zimri, one of these Israelite men who'd taken a Midianite woman as a wife. He followed them into their tent, and with one thrust of his lance, he killed both of them, and the plague was abated. It stopped. Now, our modern sensibilities make it difficult for us to uphold Pinchas as a model of righteous behavior, as a model of what religious people should do. On one hand, he acted out of his love of God and his love of his people. On the other hand, his was a violent act of vengeance committed in the name of God. Some commentators have pointed out that this deed, this ambivalent deed, was committed last week, and the reward for this deed was delayed until this week, indicating that even God was somewhat perturbed by the violence of Pinchas's act. These days, we are witnessing too many acts of retaliation and vengeance in the name of God. Recently, 3 beautiful young Israeli teenagers, Ayal Yifrach, Gilad Sha'ar, and Naphtali Frankel, were kidnapped and murdered by Islamic extremists on the West Bank, presumably in revenge for perceived wrongs committed by Israel against Palestinians. In retaliation, Israeli extremists set upon an innocent young Palestinian boy by the name of Mohammed Abu Khadir and brutally murdered him. Now, Rachel Frankel, mother of slain Naphtali Frankel, upon hearing about Mohammed's murder said, "Even in the abyss of mourning for Gilad, Ayal, and Naphtali, it's difficult for us to describe how distressed we are by the outrage committed against Muhammad in Jerusalem. The shedding of innocent blood is in defiance of all morality, of the Torah, of the foundation of us all. No mother or father should ever have to go through what we are going through, and we share the pain of Muhammad's parents." Rachel Frankel, even in the throes of the pain that she is going through over the loss of her beloved Naphtali, totally rejects the idea of revenge. In Leviticus 19:18, it's written, "Lo tikom," you shall not take vengeance. Vengeance is not a Jewish value. In Dueteronomy chapter 16, verse 20, we read, "Tzedek tzedek tirdof," justice, justice you shall pursue. People over the centuries have asked, why is the word justice repeated here? Wouldn't it have been enough just to say, "Justice you shall pursue"? Well, the word justice is repeated to remind us that justice is absolute. It applies to all. to Jew, to Gentile, to Israeli, and to Arab alike. Revenge killings are contrary to the essential teachings of our Torah. I, like Jews all over the world, am disturbed and offended by the action of a small group of misguided Jewish fanatics who murdered Muhammad. However, I'm also proud that the Israeli government has apprehended and has charged at least 6 young men in connection with Muhammad's death. By doing so, Israel is rejecting the idea of vengeance and upholding the Jewish value of justice. Well, I hope that you will read this week's Torah portion and come to your own conclusions. Shabbat Shalom.